In the shadowy realm of Cold War politics, where ideology often overcame legality, the Iran-Contra Affair emerged as one of the most audacious and controversial episodes in American history. A labyrinthine scandal that intertwined secret arms deals, hostage negotiations, and illegal funding of foreign rebels. The affair revealed not only the lengths to which a government might go to achieve its goals, but also the fragility of democratic accountability when ideology takes the driver's seat. The origins of the Iran-Contra Affair lie in two seemingly unrelated geopolitical crises. In the Middle East, the Islamic Republic of Iran was locked in a brutal war with Iraq. Despite an arms embargo and Iran's designation as a state sponsor of terrorism, a faction within the Reagan administration saw an opportunity: covertly sell arms to Iran in exchange for assistance in freeing American hostages held by Hezbollah in Lebanon. At the same time, in Central America, the Reagan administration was deeply invested in defeating the leftist Sandinista government of Nicaragua. Reagan viewed the Sandinistas as Marxist puppets of the Soviet Union and supported the right-wing Contras fighting to overthrow them. However, Congress had explicitly forbidden military aid to the Contras through a series of laws known as the Boland Amendments. The solution devised by members of Reagan's National Security Council was as creative as it was illegal: sell arms to Iran, use the profits to fund the Contras, and keep the whole operation hidden from Congress and the public. The logic was riddled with contradictions. The U.S. was publicly condemning Iran, yet secretly selling them weapons. It was promoting democracy abroad, yet bypassing its own democratic institutions at home. Most troubling of all, the plan linked American foreign policy to hostage negotiations, effectively encouraging the very kidnappings it claimed to oppose. At the center of this clandestine operation was Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, a decorated Marine and member of the National Security Council. North became the chief architect of the arms for hostages and cash for Contra's scheme, overseeing the transfer of weapons and the distribution of funds. The operation was executed through a tangled web of intermediaries, private contractors, and offshore bank accounts, all designed to keep the U.S. government's fingerprints off the books. For a while, the plan worked in secret. Hostages were released, weapons were delivered, the Contras received millions in covert funding. But in late 1986, the operation began to unravel. A Lebanese newspaper first reported the U.S.-Iran arms deal, and American media quickly picked up the story. The Reagan administration initially denied the reports, but under mounting pressure, details began to emerge. When the affair became public, it sent shockwaves through Washington. President Ronald Reagan addressed the nation, denying that arms had been traded for hostages, but evidence quickly contradicted his claims, and the administration was forced to admit the truth. The core of the scandal wasn't just the actions taken, it was the deception involved. The American public had been misled, and Congress had been deliberately kept in the dark. Congress launched an investigation, and in 1987, televised hearings riveted the nation. Millions of Americans watched as Oliver North testified in full military uniform, unapologetically defending his actions as patriotic. His testimony was both dramatic and divisive. Some viewed him as a hero who did what was necessary to protect American interests, while others saw him as the embodiment of a rogue government that had abandoned the rule of law. In total, 14 administration officials were indicted, and 11 were convicted, including North. However, most of the convictions were later vacated or pardoned. In 1992, President George H.W. Bush, who had served as vice president during the affair, issued pardons to several key figures, effectively ending the legal consequences for those involved. Despite the scandal, President Reagan's popularity remained surprisingly resilient. He left office with high approval ratings, and many Americans accepted the narrative that the administration's intentions, if not its methods, were honorable. Yet, the Iran-Contra Affair left a lasting scar on American democracy. It revealed how easily checks and balances could be bypassed, how secret operations could flourish under the guise of national security, and how accountability could be eluded through legal loopholes and political loyalty. More than a cautionary tale of political overreach, the Iran-Contra Affair poses enduring questions about the nature of power in a democracy. Can a government act morally while breaking its own laws? Is it acceptable to circumvent elected institutions in the name of national interest? And when leaders justify illegal actions with ideological self-righteousness, who holds them accountable? The scandal also reshaped public trust in government. In a post-Watergate America already skeptical of political authority, Iran-Contra deepened the sense that truth and transparency were negotiable. It showed that even in the most open societies, the machinery of government could operate in the shadows. In retrospect, the Iran-Contra Affair was not just about hostages, arms, or guerrilla fighters. It was about the integrity of American democracy. It exposed the dangerous belief that good intentions can excuse unlawful actions and reminded the world that even well-intentioned secrecy can erode the very principles it claims to defend.